Yeah, g'day, kia ora. Pastor Carl Bromley down here in the deep south, and we just want to put my 2 cents worth in for any interested regarding reflecting on the current Israel Gaza / Hamas USA 21-point plan for ending the conflict in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas. I have noticed the last few days, I pointed out to my wife how that I did notice our dear President Donald Trump. I call him our dear President because he'd certainly be mine if I was in the United States. I've just noticed the last few days how he's changed rhetoric a little bit in terms of ending the conflict, that he's gone from saying we need to release the hostages and get rid of Hamas to just releasing the hostages. And that perception was validated with the 21-point plan. It sounds that part of the 21-point plan is that all hostages be released and a withdrawal from Israel forces from Gaza, and offering some amnesty to Hamas operatives who choose to stay in Gaza. Offering amnesty to Hamas operatives who choose to stay in Gaza. So that is an affirmation of the perception of a change of rhetoric from getting rid of Hamas and having all the hostages released with an allowance for Hamas operatives to have an amnesty to remain in Gaza if they choose. So just reflecting on that, I understand the prime focus of having all the hostages returned. Anyone in their right mind, of any fibre of morality, would want that above and beyond everything else. I guess the sad thing about all this, in reflection, is a couple of things. First of all, the whole world, including the UN, any country, nation with any moral fibre, should have got behind Israel from the very start and got in there and absolutely removed Hamas completely from Gaza. There should have been troops on the ground, in my view, from the United Nations on the ground to get rid of Hamas out of Gaza from the very beginning following October 7th. So the United Nations, which is really a joke in terms of an authentic organisation that is supposed to be there to bring the world peace, is an absolute joke. They should have been there from the very start, post October 7th, to get in there with Israel, supporting 100% to get rid of that terrorist government of Hamas and the operatives. But they didn't. Instead, they've just sat back and colluded with global propaganda and Israel hate to villainize Israel. So that's the first thing that's sad. The second thing that's sad about this at this time is that the reality is, if the 21-point plan goes through, and let's wait and see if it does, it'll only be a matter of time. It'll just be a matter of time until the Hamas operatives or Palestinians under another umbrella start lobbing missiles at Israel again, start sending in bombers and terror agents back into Israel. It'll just be a matter of time till we see the provocation, the murder, the terrorism ramp up against Israel. And I think it wouldn't be much time at all. So we'll just see this cycle repeated of Israel making peace, bending over backwards, compromising because of world global pressure against a wicked and evil foe. And we'll see this wicked evil foe manifest itself again. The problem is that, with all due respect and honesty, there is a radical political and spiritual ethos in Palestine that is not going to go away anytime soon. And that goes back to, if I could generously call it, and I'm being generous by saying this, a radical form of Islam that does seek the annihilation of the State of Israel and Jews, who does authentically seek genocide against Jew. And like many who have bought into this propaganda from this terrorist culture, seek to see the extinguishing of Israel as a state. So it's just going to be a matter of time, even if the 21-point plan goes through, that because of the radical nature involved in this, again being generous, this form of Islam, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's like a malignant cancer in terms of an ideology. Unless you remove it all, it's going to fire back up again, and it's going to spread again. And that's the issue with a malignant ideology that seeks the genuine genocide and ethnic cleansing, genocide really, of Jews in the state of Israel. It's going to crop up against again and again and again, sadly. So back to what I said before, the best thing would have been, and the proper and right thing would have been, after October 7th, that the United Nations and any nation of any moral fibre should have got behind Israel to basically eradicate Gaza and Palestine of Hamas as a government, and then work with a re-education program to work to attack ideological issues that are at the base of their morals and values, that really seek the destruction and death to Jews in Israel and all around the world, actually. It's a malignant ideology. We call it radical generously, but it is sown and dispersed amongst Palestinians in Gaza and in the West Bank, and sadly in other Islamic nations, or Islamic-led nations, should I say, like Iran, etc., etc. So, just my 2 cents worth. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. But just sad to see history is going to repeat itself again and again. I know Israel is going to be more forthright to protect themselves, God forbid, against another October 7th. But as the old saying goes, never negotiate with terrorists. And unfortunately, under the pressure of globalized pressure from the UN and the West, Israel has been villainized, demonized in seeking the security of their homeland, to eliminate a true and present threat, and have been forced to put in a position of negotiation and to get the hostages back. And let's hope they all come back, both the ones that are deceased, have been murdered, and the living. And I guess go from there, probably for another round, because this malignant, radical schism, if I can call it that generously, of Islam has not been eliminated. God bless. Bye for now. Aranui, big love. See ya.